Before this video begins, I do want to give a couple of important statements. All the info provided in this video has been made publicly available by multiple different sources. I also do not promote the harassment of any of the people that were mentioned in this video at all. Please do not do that. Now, you probably saw the title, the thumbnail, and some of you might be well aware of what this video is going to be about, or some of you probably are already aware. Now, there are a couple different reasons as to why I am making this video. One is to basically give a full rundown of everything that happened for those who don't fully know the entire story. Two is to basically express my own opinion on some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this video. Three is to express my criticisms with the actual game developers themselves. And four, content. I need money. Now, before we officially get into the whole ordeal of this video, I figured it's better to start off from the beginning. Now, for the couple of Neanderthals that couldn't find a video, so it decided to autoplay to the next video, Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra is a 4v4 team-style MOBA game created by Bandi Namco Entertainment, released on September 9th of 2025. The goal is simple. You and your team must strategize to secure bosses, knock down enemy towers while defending your own towers, and finally obtain the enemy team's Dragon Ball. Now, as someone who has been playing since the beta of this game, I do enjoy many things about it. Obviously, there is still much needed room for improvement, but I think I will save that for a separate or future video. Currently, the game has been through 3 seasons total, with season 4 just being on the horizon, or maybe was already announced. It really depends on how long it takes my fat ass to get this video out. So far, we have had such releases such as Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegito, Super Saiyan Bardock, Kefla, and many more. With the game already having a total of 3 seasons under its belt, it was only a matter of time before things were taken to a much more competitive level. So enter Squadra Blast, an official tournament held by Bandi Namco Entertainment, hosted between the NA, South America, that's a really bad abbreviation, Asia, and Europe. The tournament itself consists of 128 teams for each region, decided by an entry raffle style process, with the top 16 teams advancing to the main stage, or simply just called the final. The first part of the tournament is called the open stage, which plays out in a Swiss draw format, with teams competing against each other in a series of battles and being matched based on their win to loss ratio. With the top 16 teams from those sets of matches advancing to the main stage, where in the series of single elimination style matches, a winner is decided. Now, along with winning, there is also a plethora of rewards that are given to each individual winner, including capsules, gems, special animations, badges, and a special skin. Now, I'm hoping for those few people that ended up stumbling upon this video with no knowledge of what Squadra is, finally understand what this game is about. So with that being said, it's finally now time to get into
right hand on the Bible. God can strike me down if I'm lying. That motherfucker's cheating!
Now, as of recently, the second Squadra Blast event was held, with, as of writing this, only 2 of the 4 original tournaments already concluding. But today we're going to be looking at specifically one of these tournaments that was held on March 8th, that being the EU Squadra Blast. Now, the list of teams are as shown on screen, but with some fast forwarding, we reached the finale between both Team Abe and Team Swag, with Team Abe taking the victory. Side note to mention, Abe's team was actually also the winner of the very first Squadra Blast. So these motherfuckers is legit. Now, I guess it's time that we go down the list of Team Abe. Now, starting off at the very top, we have Abe himself, who also goes by Abetihi, who I called Ableif for about like 2 months, so I just want to sincerely say my extended apologies over to you, Abletits. Now, Abe is a content creator who is regarded as one of the best Gekishin Squadra players, being legit #1 on the leaderboards, I believe, on 1 or multiple occasions. From my perspective, I'm a very casual viewer of his, and from word of mouth, he seems to have a highly competitive nature and is most well known for streaming on Twitch as well as posting on YouTube, where he posts guides, general gameplay, and his own takes and opinions. Annie, also known as Slightly Annie or Annie Sharon or Annie Talk, is a content creator most well known for his gameplays on YouTube, where he has started actually gathering a lot of traction for his gameplays and his showcases. One very unique thing about him is that he actually doesn't use his voice, he uses just text that's placed on screen, which I think is pretty cool. Now, Arctic is not someone that I'm really all that familiar with, but after doing some research, I deadass found nothing. Maybe my detective and awareness skills aren't great, considering I barely noticed a pencil on my knee when I got stabbed as a child, but I could not find any sort of social media presence regarding this guy. And I mean, honestly, if that is the case, I don't blame you, bro. Keep doing your thing, Arctic Anonymous. And moving on to the final player of Team Abe, we have Oros, who does stream, but outside of that, I couldn't really find much of anything else. Now, if it wasn't very obvious by the thumbnail, allow me to take your hand and guide you as I present you with the possible theory that Oros isn't actually Oros. Now, sometime after the tournament had concluded, it came out and it was revealed that Oros wasn't actually playing in the tournament. It was somebody else who goes by the name of Purma. Or Purma. I'm sorry, I'm fucking that up, I know. So Purma was basically using Oros' account, which obviously, if you looked at the tournament rules, is not allowed. Sub-ins are not allowed, especially if the sub-in is actually playing on one of the tournament players that are already registered's account. Now, the alleged reasoning as to why he dropped out just a couple days before the tournament was due to personal reasons. So this whole thing came out, at least from what I've seen, in the official Gekishin Squadra Discord server. Now, while I have no knowledge of who the direct leaker who was responsible for all this was, it has been told to be rather a collective of different people, some who allegedly hate Abe and some who allegedly just don't like the fact that they broke the rules. And the way that they found out about it was allegedly someone on Abe's team, I don't know if it was the full team or not, and like I said, this is just by word of mouth, was bragging about it. Initially, the response in the server was people just starting to call Abe's team cheaters and calling him dumbass shit like Abe Stein for some fucking reason. But there was also a good amount of people coming to Abe and his team's defense, saying that the hate was undeserved and really this shouldn't be taken that seriously because it's a kid's game. So originally the server itself was pretty divided. So after some time goes by and this kind of discussion is still going on and on, someone in particular joins the chat, that being Oros. Not like actual Oros, he doesn't have somebody on his account typing for him. Now obviously he wasn't really taking any of this seriously and was just making fun of people who cared so much about it, which in and of itself, like honestly, who cares? But then it gets kinda weird. During the whole discussion, Oros decides to start turning the topic from originally about the tournament into it being about trans people for some reason, and he made certain responses and comments about trans people that some would deem as bigoted and homophobic. Now, I'm not quite sure how it transitioned from the topic of alleged tournament rule breaking to the argument about trans people. What makes it funnier is that Annie himself goes by they, them, so like he just... how is this combo like set up when they were originally like planning on being teammates?
Hey, now I heard you were one of them. Or should I say, theys. Now let me tell you something. I don't like people like you. I don't like how you people push your ideologies onto someone as masculine as me. But you know what? I think you're one of the good ones.
This shit's so dumb.
And we are looking for the best of the best for this tournament. So I guess I'll have to team up with you.
I can't do this dumbass shit. Now, obviously, his comments that were made were meant out of pettiness and should be shamed, but please do not go and think that this is the entire view for every single member of the team. Both Annie and Abe have both come out publicly saying they do not support any of the views or comments that Oros had made. So I guess on that topic, we should probably talk about their responses.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
So the big April decided to drop two responses, one on Twitter, which seemed to be a lot more professional and level-headed, and a stream he did live on Twitch, which was something.
Okay, no, I didn't cheat. Plain and simple. Cheating involves breaking the rules to gain an unfair advantage. Basically, what happened is, Oros, 4 days before the tournament, he said, fuck this shit, I don't want to play. He said that. Oros said that. So it was me and Annie who are tournament winners. And then we said, okay, fuck this, let's just get Purma to play instead. And obviously that's against the rules. I understand that, and I was fully aware of that. That's why I didn't go around telling everyone, hey, we're gonna switch this guy out. So whether you think that is horrendous or not, that is completely understandable. But like realistically, why do you care? Like, why do you care? Why do you care? It's like when a Asian person dresses up as a Mexican. Like, it's like when an Asian person dresses up as a Mexican, and then the white person is like, that's That's racist. It's like, what do you mean? I didn't say anything transphobic. I never stated I agreed with him. Like, why do I have... Like, guys, I'm not an esports organization. Guys, I am not I'm not a political party. I fucking play Gekishin Squadra! I play Gekishin Squadra! I play this mobile game with 5 gigabytes! It's 5 gigabytes! Why do you care, man? Why do you care? Why do you care?
Now, to show some basic level of understanding, I know what point he was trying to make with that first comment. There are a million other different variations you could have gave though. Now, to give Abe credit, he did say that he would accept any of the consequences that were given to him and his team, along with condemning Oros for the comments that he's made. As well as, and look, I'm gonna be, fair here, he did tell other people a part of the tournament about the switch-in. The most well-known, I think, by most people that were, following this was Swag. So at least, he went up to him and he was like,
"Hey bro, one guy kinda decided to dip on us. So we're gonna shit on you with an even worse player."
Good luck, man. Now, I will have my own thoughts and criticisms about the rules themselves for the tournament, but personally, the team should have just been disqualified. Fucking obviously. I'm very understanding of the fact that Oros did it like deadass 3 days before the tournament, and I'm sure Abe wanted to compete against, people that he knew in the tournament, like his friends or just other creators, but that also is very unfair to teams for the first 2 Squadra Blasts who might have had to been disqualified because, well, they just couldn't be able to get all the team together for the tournament. For those teams, it's very unfair. Sometimes things happen, and unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get what you always want. Him and his team agreeing to do this, even though it was against the rules, does kind of come across as disingenuous. Not necessarily for the people involved, especially since majority, and I don't know how many people weren't aware of it, but majority did know. It mainly comes across as disingenuous for the people watching. And for the people that are calling you and your team, cheaters, I don't think they're outright doing it because of the fact that you physically cheated in the video game, like like wall hacks or the instant ability to fucking grab the Dragon Ball. I think it just has to do with the fact that you should have been playing in the first place. Now keep in mind, this is not me hating on Abe or really any member of his team. Besides that one guy. And let alone, I'm not discrediting him as a player. He clearly knows his stuff, is definitely better than me, and even with someone who is arguably worse on the team according to people, he was still able to win, which is impressive. It's just about the actual events that led up to it that make the win wrong. Along with that response, Ani would also drop a similar response on Twitter and also YouTube, basically kind of regurgitating the same kind of thing. So obviously I'm not gonna, just replay the same shit that I just said, but what I want people's takeaway to be from this video and me showing all this information is to basically just form your own opinion. You might agree with some things that I say or disagree with some things that, I'm also saying, or vice versa with Abe and Ani and other members of the team. It's fine to have disagreements like this. Obviously, it's nothing that's like too serious. So I guess one of the first things I'll ask for people who want to comment down below is, how do you feel about this whole thing? Do you agree with what they did? Do you disagree with what they did? Can you have an understanding of what they did? Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with the stuff that I'm saying? That's all this video is kind of mainly just about, is just a simple discussion, really. So with all these things considered, what was the actual outcome? What did... So the Dragon Ball Squadra Discord server and the Twitter would both release responses saying that they would investigate the accusations of the rule break. After a short time later, they themselves would drop another response stating that they would be giving the win to Team Swag, who responded with an obvious and not so sarcastic smile. You can tell how happy he is because his radiating happiness is overflowing. So let's start off the things that I actually like about this response. I do agree with the punishment that they gave these guys. I don't think that they deserve to be just outright banned, especially considering the context of everything and all the info that we have. Now, I will be giving Squadra some shit here because there is no fucking way you guys saw how these events unfolded and didn't think to just maybe adjust the rules. Sub-in should be allowed, okay? Like they should be, especially if it's a sub-in in advanced. The fact that no sub-ins are allowed at all, even though you have to sign up about 2 months in advance, is wild. Now, I'm not a big MOBA player, but after doing some research, games like League, Smite, Dota 2, they all allow sub-ins with some, certain restrictions and limitations, obviously, but they still allow them. And I understand that it might be difficult to make these changes, given that the actual way to sign up is through start.gg, which from what I got got told is very hard to make changes for subbings. So my response to that is they need to either find a different website or they need to find a different way so that they can make these adjustments accordingly. Especially because, I mean, we don't want this to happen again. So yeah, that's basically the entire drama outline for you. Like I said in the beginning, and probably mentioned multiple times throughout this video, I don't condone the harassing of any of the people I mentioned in this video. The entirety of this has been resolved and things have calmed down. So, you know, harassing people or, you know, going to talk shit in people's chats isn't gonna fix anything. On a whole different topic, I've never made a video like this, and writing this script has been a big pain in my ass. So there's that. If you enjoyed this Squadra video, technically, and want to see more Squadra stuff in the future, or just, you know, just me yapping and playing dumb shit, feel free to sub and, you know, like and blah 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 blah. Why did I write that? As always, let me know what you guys think down below about this whole thing or the video in general. Also, join the Discord. We're actually about to be having a big giveaway and as well as a competition for said giveaway. As always, follow me on everything else, and I love you guys. I'll be talking to y'all in a bit. Y'all be beautiful people, be good people, and have a good day or night from obviously wherever you guys are from. And yeah, peace.